श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वातरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरु परम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारो अन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अंधकार निरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यतायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्तश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। We are studying Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad along with its kārikā. Kārikā is important to understand the overall idea of the Upanishad, which is to be conveyed for a person for the liberation from this world. This is not a religious book. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad or any other Upanishad is not a religious book. It won't compel anybody to get into a religion or to perform certain rituals or do some disciplines. It won't compel. Upanishad conveys the reality of the individual. This is the mission of the text. No other mission is embarked here. So, when we study Upanishad, the gain is, the accomplishment is, we are free from all limitations which we are having inside our mind. I am a body, I am a woman, I am a man, I am fair, I am black, I am tall, I am small, my organs are having defects. All these problems are not for the individual. This is going to be established at once when the person gets the knowledge about oneself. That is why if you ask a traditional teacher, what is the subject matter of the Upanishad? If you ask, there is only one answer from him: Brahma Jnanam, knowledge about Brahman. Or he may say Atma Jnanam, the knowledge about the self or the knowledge about the individual. the oneness or the non-separateness of between the individual and the Lord. That will be the name of this school, Advaita philosophy. Where there is non-duality is established, that school is called Advaita philosophy. Non-separateness, non-duality is the total solution for all my insecurity and all my fear. So that is been established through Upanishad, and also along with the Upanishad in Māṇḍūkya we study kārikā also. It will be nice to get the basic tips before any class so that one can merge again and again to this non-dualistic world, which is the most happiest way of living. So here we will start with the verse number 13 in the second section of Māṇḍūkya kārikā. I will read the verse and I will give you the meaning in a gist form. Already we discussed, still we will give. Vikaroti paran bhavan andaschitte vyavastitan niyadamscha bahishchitta niyadamscha bahishchitte evam kalpayate prabhu. Once more I will read. Vikaroti paran bhavan andaschitte vyavastitan niyadamscha bahishchitte evam kalpayate prabhu. Prabhu is the subject of this entire verse. The all-pervading Lord who have the all-mighty on all the things in the world, but we see all the names and forms. The all-pervading consciousness is called Prabhu. That consciousness is the individual who is the listener. Don't go anyway to see the Prabhu. That Almighty Creator is in the form of individual. Prabhu. The Prabhu, the Creator, who is all-knowing and almighty, and he is having all kinds of software engineering regarding all the names and forms in this creation. So no need of any other support in a creation. He knows all kinds of engineering regarding the names and forms. He has the software of the fish. He has the software of the star. He has the software of the earth. He has the software of the human being. How to create, he have already the ideas and he is capable to create. In this world of Vyavahara, empirical world, we see few people only having different ideas. They don't have the capacity to create or to execute the idea externally. There are other type of people who have the capacity to work if somebody gave the idea to them. Both are met here, all-knowing and almighty. He is capable of creating each and everything. He has the idea about everything. Pre-programmed also. I will come to that word, pre-programmed. So, Prabhu, the Creator, has created everything. Keep in the mind. Vikaroti. The word Vikaroti can two meanings. One is creates or imagines. The all-knowing Lord, who is in the form of an individual self, even though he didn't or it didn't become an individual self, we assume as an individual self. That's all. The gold never converted in the form of a bangle or a necklace or an earring. The gold is always gold. We say that it's an earring. We see it's a necklace. That's all. It never converted in any other form. It remains gold in the present, in the future, and it was gold in the past also. There will be an permanent existence of the gold, even though we call it different forms. Similarly, the all-pervading Lord is in the form of consciousness and who is also called individual self, means the listener, individual self. It imagines paran bhavan, different types of paran, different types of things inside the mind, paran bhava. It can be Shabdadin Anyanscha Andashchitte. Shankara says in Bhashya. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gantham. Five senses. Shabdam, sound. Sparsham, touching. Rupam, a form. Rasam, the taste. Gantham, the fragrance. These five senses will help me to identify the entire creation. Inside the mind, this individual self, so-called, even though it is Brahman, for the sake of understanding, we say individual self. Even though if we call individual self, there is no mistake. Only we should know that individual self is Brahman, the all-pervading, all-knowing, almighty creator. That all-pervading Lord imagines or creates different forms which are being centered on five senses. Paran bhavan antaschitte vyavastita. It is there already existing inside the mind. Here there is some clarity we should have. Every individual is not going to see the same dream. We know that. Everybody have different dreams. Everybody have different taste. Everybody have different ambitions in future. According to all these things, only a person will imagine. Even though an individual imagines, not every individual imagines the same thing in the entire world. In the entire dream world, every individual, it can be a lion also, it can be a buffalo also, it can be a deer also, it can be a human being also. In the dream state, they will have their own unique dream. One may imagine an elephant. One may imagine some grass if you are a cow. Anything you can imagine. The entire thing is called past impressions, already preoccupying in the mind. The individual enters into a dream according to the preoccupied ideas or past impressions which are already there inside the mind. How these preoccupied impressions, in Sanskrit it is called vasana, how they get accumulated in one's mind due to the previous births and the experiences gone through in the previous birth, and the duties and responsibilities which I have gone through in the previous births, and also the enjoyments I have enjoyed in the previous birth, whatever leisure things I have gone through in my previous birth, everything will give a carbon copy inside the mind. This is called past impression or preoccupied ideas. Just a lamp is colorless in real. We give an outer covering which is color blue. Then the colorless lamp will be appearing outside as a blue lamp. It is a clear-cut experience for everybody. A colorless lamp is covered by a glass which is having a color of blue. A blue-colored glass is covering the colorless lamp. Now the lamp will be in the form of blue shining. So we call it blue lamp, red lamp, green lamp. Similarly, the individual self, which doesn't have any preoccupied ideas, which is ever pure, which is ever illuminating, which is, it can be equated to our example, colorless. That individual self, which is called Brahman, when it gets associated with the subtle body, preoccupied thoughts or vasanas, then this vasanas and the ideas of the subtle body becomes upadhi. Something get associated with the individual self, and the individual self will be seen in another way externally. A blue-colored glass will make the lamp blue lamp. Similarly, the preoccupied ideas and impressions will make the individual self to see a dream according to the impressions which are already accumulated. That is why we are having different ambitions, different rejoices, different eagerness, because our experiences will determine what should I want to be in my life, what should I eat, what should I work, everything, what should I do? Our experiences, our impressions, all these things. they never existed in the individual self. They existed in the subtle in the mind. When it gets associated, even this association is only a verbatim. Just I am giving some words. There is no association. For association, there should be two things. One thing itself is imagined as some other thing is not an association. It's called superimposition. So, the ignorance which are there in oneself about the real nature of oneself will accumulate some preoccupied ideas, and oneself imagine lot of things inside the dream state. And also, when the mind get connected with the senses, first of all, there is only mind working with the impressions. Now the mind and the senses are there in a row. Along with the mind and senses, here the senses means the act of listening, the potential to listen, the potential to see, the potential to smell, the potential to taste. Everything is backed up by the mind. Mind will make them to do the things. They just report to the mind. So association of the mind and the senses will grasp all the external names and forms. Due to the ignorance, they see different names and forms. Because of the ignorance only, the external creation exists. There is no such thing called creation. It's all verbal exercises. For the sake of understanding, first of all, we say there is a creation. When you come to the knowledge, from the standpoint of knowledge, there is nothing other than one supreme consciousness. That supreme consciousness is superimposed by different names and forms. In the creation, I assume there are different names and forms. Niyadamscha bahishchitte. In the outside, here it is called Prativyadhin Niyadamscha. Niyadam, what is seen externally as it is. All the five elements. The five elements are just a superimposition. I can imagine a snake on the rope. I can imagine a silver line on the rope. If the rope is shining, it's a silver stick. I can imagine anything. This is called superimposition. So, another Upanishad support for that. In another Upanishad, the same idea is being explained properly. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, second chapter, Brahmanandavalli. Brahmavidapnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman so osnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteta. Then tasmadva etasmadatmana akasha sambhutaha akashat vayuhu vayoragnihi agnirapaha advyah prithivvi prithivya oshadayaha oshadhibhyo annam annat purushaha. And it continues. The point is, the superimposition has a method in the madness. Pujya Swamiji used to say, even the superimposition has a method. First of all, the individual self or the Brahman is superimposed in the form of space. And from the space, there is another superimposition called Vayuhu, the vital force, the air. From the Vayu, the product being Agnihi, the fire become the product and Vayu will become the cause. Then from the fire, the water, that is why when you go for a running, your body will become heat and the sweating will come. That itself proves that from the heat, the water came. From the fire, the water came. Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad straightly says this example. That is why when the person gets sweats, when he becomes heat, when the body becomes heat. The cause of the water is the fire. Even when the water gets heat, the vapor will be there on the top. So, come to the point. The superimposition has a method. First, I will consider I am this body. This is the first superimposition on the self. And I am a male body, the second superimposition. I am connecting with the superimposition told in the Upanishad. There the superimposition will end up in the Purusha. A Jiva, a life form. The life form, without knowing, due to the ignorance, it itself consider a limited living being. I am. Oh, I am a woman. I live in London. I have this much difficulties with my body. I am cheated. I am praised. I am tall. I have poor eyesight. Lots and lots of things are connected with I am. I am a body is the first superimposition. I am a limited body is the another superimposition. By looking at the people, I become jealous. I compare myself, I will get more sweating. Don't compare with anybody. You are the Supreme Lord. Body is nothing. Let it come and let it go in the right time. Why should you compare with others and getting disturbed yourself, You are the Supreme Brahman. You are the consciousness which never subject to death or birth. After knowing what is the point of comparing with others with the limited body, you may get aged. You may have some health issues. Nothing wrong. Body is subject to all these defects. So no need to worry about anything. You are not the body. But our superimposition is very deep. That is why I have a body, I am tall, I am fat, I am not beautiful, I am the fifth woman, fifth daughter in the house, nobody care for me. When I am child, I got cheated. Even now, people are cheating me. All these things are body-related superimposition. It's there. In the empirical vision, cheating is there, pricing is there, loving is there, everything is there. But all are connected to body, not connected to you. You are the all-pervasive Lord. Here, I am dealing with the 13th verse. It is told here, the same individual self, when it gets associated with the mind and senses, it imagines different names and forms, and it will become the ideas in the mind. Whatever names and forms we perceive, it becomes one of the idea, one thought in our mind. Thus, everything is being imagined by the all-pervading Lord. So, the entire meaning will be the all-pervading Lord Prabhu creates or imagines all the thoughts which are inside the mind due to the past impression. And all the names and forms will be perceived by the senses, and it will become also thought inside the mind. Both are going to be imagined ideas only. They are not real. We are going to see, and we have already mentioned through previous verses also. This is the meaning of the 13th verse. Now come to the 14th verse. I will read and I will give the explanation. Chittakala hi ye antastu dvayakalascha ye bahihi kalpita eva te sarve vishesho nanya hetukaha. Once more I will read. Chittakala hi ye antastu dvayakalascha ye bahihi kalpita eva te sarve vishesho nanya hetukaha. Chittakala, the objects perceived in the mind have the duration as long as the mind thinks about the objects. The duration of an object which is been which are imagined by the mind have the duration as long as they are imagined. This is called Chittakala. As long as the mind imagines, so long the object will be perceived inside the mind. Once more I will say, as long as the object is perceived in the mind, so long that duration, so long the object will be there inside the mind. That is why Chitta Kalaha, Kala, duration, time. An object which is there inside the mind as long as you think. For example, you think about a cat right now. The cat exists inside your mind as long as you are thinking about that cat. Now you start to thinking about a dog. Now the cat disappeared. The duration of the cat thought is as long as you imagine inside. This is called Chittakala. Chittakala. Those things which are imagined in the mind is called Chittakala, a antastu. Inside the mind, you are thinking something and it will exist as long as you think about that. Now, dvayakalascha e bahihi. The word dvaya have a different meaning according to Gaudapada, which we will see from the fourth section, 72nd verse. Fourth section, 72nd verse. I would like to read that. I will read just that verse. From that we will get to the dvayam. Chittaspanditamevedam grahya grahakavadvayam chittam nirvishayam nityam asangam tena kirtidam. So the dvayam word means grahya grahakavad. The perceiver and the perceived. When there is a split in the consciousness, remember the consciousness is in the form of the perceived, the consciousness is in the form of perceiver. Then that two things are called dvayakala. When the mind associated with the senses and perceive an external object, that object will get the name dvayakala, an external object or any external objects. The object which is assumed inside the mind is also an idea. An object perceived outside the mind is also an idea inside the mind now. Because without the idea, you cannot see the external object. Shankara gives a beautiful example also in his Bhashya. I am not going to enter into that. Just I will give the gist. After all, any external object is an argument for an opposition. Because he says that any object you imagine inside the mind, we accept it is unreal. We accept it. That's why this verse has a beautiful commentary by Adi Shankara. I will give just the gist of that. The opposition asks the question. You say external object also imagination. The internal objects also imagined ideas. We will partially accept this argument. The opposition says that, Purvapaksha. Inside what is been imagined is an idea, is unreal. But when you say external objects are also unreal, how can we accept that? Because when you are not perceiving the objects, There are different objects, they limit each other and they exist even without your perception. How can there can be an imagined idea? They exist without your knowledge or without your imagination. So you cannot compare the external objects with the objects imagined inside your mind. Because external objects continue to exist even without your perception, or even if you go to another name and form. Here the argument is being countered by giving some insight. Even the object exists in the external world is an idea in you. We don't know whether it exists or not. You saw an egg before 20 days. You think that that egg remains even now. That egg may be eaten as omelette, or that egg may be hatched into a chick. We don't have idea. We just have an idea that that egg exists there. That existence is also an idea. Any external object, even without your identification or knowledge, or even without your thought or thinking, it is existing outside, is also an idea like the thing existing right now at present. All are mere ideas. Again, I will repeat the entire vision. Chittakala means the objects which are perceived inside the mind, which are not existing externally. Dvayakalaha means the objects which are existing and which are limiting each other externally. They are existing as long as I am perceiving them. After my perception, I go to a different object, still they exist. This is the argument of the Purvapakshi or the opposition. They exist even without my perception or even without my knowledge is also an idea. As long as I perceive, it is there now. But it's also an idea inside my mind. So external objects and the internal objects, whether they are externally existing or they are only mere ideas inside the mind, both are, in the second verse, Acharya, Gaudapada Acharya says, Kalpida evate sarve. All are mere imagination. No need to worry about their existence even without my perception. They are mere imagination. Now I'll go one step forward. We accept there is a name and form externally due to ignorance. Suppose, for example, there is a pot in front of me. We accept it, there is a pot. Due to my ignorance, I imagine the consciousness in the form of a pot. Again, I will repeat, this sentence is important. Due to my ignorance, I accept there is a pot in front of me. Now, it is in the waking state. This is an idea or this is real, that there is a pot. This is only an imagination because I don't know it is Brahman, it is the individual self appearing in the form of pot. I'm going more deep inside. Please come along with me, okay? That's why I repeat. In the waking state, I see a pot right in front of me, a clay pot. And I accept there is a pot in front of me. Due to ignorance only, I accept the external world with a lot of names and forms. When I accept the pot exists there means this is an idea, this is an imagination. This is due to ignorance. I imagine a pot exists externally. That is why it is also an imagination, because wherever there is ignorance, creation is real for them and it is only an idea. Like a rope is being misunderstood as a snake. Similarly, the entire Brahman is misunderstood in the form of creation. So both are one and the same. I would like you to say, please listen the class 1 or 2 times even after finishing the class in the YouTube. Okay, very important class. How it is beautifully unfolded by the acharyas are amazing. I am just giving the gist. When we study along with the commentary in a traditional way, when you meet, or in future, I will make all of you meet together in one place and I will take the class direct without offline, not online. I want to see your faces and I want to take the class. We will plan everything in future in a place in the banks of Ganges or in the mountains, anywhere, no problem. There I will unfold again and again these ideas. For the time being, I am just giving the gist. I am not giving the whole commentary. So, due to ignorance only, I accept there is a creation. I accept this is a pot. This is only imagination. Whether it is in the dream or whether it is in the waking state. Dream can be concluded by you from the waking state that it's mere imagination. For example, I was getting a dream that I am traveling in a train in the last night. When I wake up, I got that this was mere dream, it is unreal. Now, I have another idea now. I see a pot right in front of me. I negated dream imagination from the waking state. Similarly, from the awakening of the knowledge, I negate the imaginations of waking state. From the imagination, from the waking state, I negated the dream imaginations, all my dream. Similarly, when you study under a traditional teacher, and you get the entire vision regarding the all-pervading Lord, which is Brahman, which is nothing other than Brahman exists in the world, then Advaita philosophy you came to know, then you will negate the entire name and form creation due to the awakening of the knowledge. So knowledge will negate the waking state and it's all mere imaginations. And from the waking state, we negate the dream state is mere imagination. And we conclude safely that both are imagined ideas. This is what being told here. Kalpita evate sarve vishesho na anya hetukaha. There is no special distinction between both. Or there is no reason to distinct both. Waking state is real and dream state is unreal. There is no reason for that distinction. This is what being taught here. Kalpita evate sarve vishesho na anya hetukaha. Whether it is chittakala, the objects which are perceived inside the mind, whether it is dvayakala, the objects, our beloved son, our beloved boyfriend, our beloved girlfriend, our beloved parents, our beloved car, our beloved bank account, our beloved body, all are external doyakalaha. I grasp everything. I perceive everything. They are also mere imagination. The consciousness in and through on all of them is the only reality. That is why it's called Advaita philosophy. The oneness is being taught here. This is the school. Oneness is the theme of our teaching. Everything is one and only Brahman. All other things are mere imagination. Due to the waking of the knowledge, I negate the waking state, and from the waking state, I negate the dream state, and both are imagined ideas. There is no special reason to distinct, both are different. No anya, na anya hetukaha visheshaha asti. No specific reason is existing to distinct waking state is real and the dream state is unreal, to say like that. No special distinction exists. No special reason exists. This is the meaning of the 14th verse. Now come to the 15th verse. Please listen 2 or 3 times this verse to understand completely. Is there any question also? You can post in our group. I will write or I will clarify in coming classes also. Anytime you are allowed to disturb me through a question or for the sake of understanding, no problem, okay? It's my duty. My teachers also helped me to reach as a teacher right in front of you. So I will take their blessings to address all your questions also. So no problem, you can post anything. Suppose if you feel I will get more clarity in coming verses, that is also a good idea. If there is no questions also, no problem. I will get more ideas, more clarity in the coming verses. That is also a positive way of taking yourself. No problem. After all, you are the all-pervading Lord. Now come to the 15th verse. Avyakta eva ye antaha antastu. Avyakta eva ye antastu. Sputa eva cha ye bahihi. Kalpita eva te sarva. Visheshastu indriyantare. Once more I will read. Avyakta eva ye antastu. Sputa eva cha ye bahihi. Kalpita eva te sarve visheshastvindriyantare. So here, another verse supporting the previous verse. Avyaktaha eva ye antaha tu. Yadyapi antara avyaktatvam bhavanam manovasana matra abhivyaktanam. This is the verse. This is the bhashya. Any imagined ideas inside the mind in the dream are unmanifested, avyaktam, not clear. Because my past impression is everything. My previous experiences, not only in this birth, which also in the previous birth. Everything all mixed up together and put some other things in the dream state, avyakta. They don't give the whole clear vision of anything. They are mixed up, unmanifested form. My imaginations don't have proper start, proper end. I see certain things in the dream. Even the story is not so clear. I see some dreams. This is called avyaktaha, antaha. Antaha means inside the body, which is the mind, the imagined ideas inside the mind. But there is a difference when the mind get associated with the senses or organs. The things are more clear than the dreamed objects. I see them properly, the pot, the cloth, my father, my beloved girlfriend, boyfriend, my car, my swimming pool, my dresses. Everything is very clear because mind is associated with the organs, not like the dream state. In the dream state, mind is not associated with the organs. Mind itself creates the imaginations from the vasanas of the body. If you ask a question, what about the developments created by the human beings? That question will go to the 13th verse, not the 15th verse, 13th verse. Vikaroti paran bhavan prabhuhu. He creates or imagines all the inside ideas or the external ideas. There can be a question. I'm not talking about this verse, this question and the answer. What about the bridges, the computer, the TV, the vessels, my sophisticated arrangements in my daily life, like a table, coat, cloth, mobile phone? All these things are not there in the creation. It's all created by the human beings. How can I account all these things in my daily life? Even though they are mere imagination, they are in the waking state. How can I account all these things? This is the question. They are all already preoccupying inside the human brain when the creation is there. This is also preoccupied thoughts inside the brain, which is also the blessings of the Creator. No human being can argue or claim these creations are by human being. Preoccupied already, pre-programmed, in other words. More it will be clear. Pre-programmed. This pre-program is done by the all-pervading Creator. So mobile phone directly created by the human being, the ideas already existing in the human brain, which are which are pre-programmed by the all-pervading Lord. That's all. Answer is clear now. Okay. Now come to the 15th verse. Unmanifested imaginations which are there in the dream state and the clean-cut manifested forms in the waking state, which are very much different each other. But they both are imagined ideas. There is no external names and forms from the standpoint of ultimate reality. Ultimate reality means there is only consciousness. If you perceive any name and form, it is due to the ignorance, and ignorance will make all imaginations in the external world. So both are mere imaginations. Sarve Vishesha, everything can consider as imagination, and thus the distinction will be in the dream state there is no association with the organs, but in the waking state the mind get associated with the organs and it perceives the manifested forms. More this verse I will explain you in the next class. We will conclude. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshoparahitaha Brahmana Santu Narbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamatav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om